Okay, so it's live.
Cool. Are you ready? Do you have it up and everything?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. So one, assume for Guatemala that the domestic price of coffee without international trade is higher than the world price of coffee. That suggests that I got other countries have a comparative advantage over Guatemala in production of coffee. So D.
Yep, that's what I got.
Cool. And then two, suppose the nation of Canada forbids international trade. Canada, you can obtain a hockey stick by trading 5 baseball hats. In other countries, you can obtain a hockey stick by trading 8 baseball hats. These facts indicate I got D again. All above are correct.
I got A, but these facts indicate that if Canada were allowed to trade, it would export hockey sticks.
I mean, I know it could be A, but couldn't it be all of them?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or
Canada by trading 5 baseball bats. Yeah, we can go with that one. I could see how it could be. Yeah.
mm, yeah. Okay. So D.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for three, patterns of trade among nations are primarily determined by comparative advantage.
So C. Yeah, I got that one too.
Four, after a country goes from disallowing trade in coffee with other countries to allowing trade in coffee with other countries, I had the domestic price of coffee will equal the world price of coffee, so C.
Yeah, I got that too. Cool.
So five, the before trade domestic price of peaches in the United States is $40 per bushel. The world price of peaches is $52 per bushel. The U.S. is a price taker in the market of peaches. So if trade in peaches is allowed, the United States will become an exporter of peaches.
Yeah, that's what I got too. So B.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
Trade enhances the economic well-being of a nation in the sense that C, trade results in an increase in total surplus.
Um, I got A. Both domestic producers and domestic consumers of a good become better off with trade, regardless of whether the nation imports or exports the good in question.
Yeah,
Uh,
I could see how that would be.
well, B says the gains of domestic producers of a good exceed the losses of domestic consumers of a good, regardless of whether they. Nope, that's not it.
We can go with yours. I mean, it does for the most part. Whether you're importing or exporting, it's making you better off.
Yeah, if because trade results, it doesn't necessarily there's a increase in total surplus. What was total surplus?
Um, let's see. Whoa.
Because doesn't that just have to do with like if they were to export goods, then there would be an increase in total surplus?
Well, I mean, if they're exporting it and they're like getting rid of it, sending it off to another country.
Yeah, but their total surplus would increase because they're producing more.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I mean, but that doesn't, I don't know, does that, oh my gosh, I can't even think of words today. Does that affect the economic well-being of a nation though? Like, well, I guess it would.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the graph, it's kind of just looking, it's just saying like domestic supply and domestic demand and world price. So it's kind of looking at it at a bigger perspective.
Okay. Mhm. I don't know, that one makes sense, but I think A would be better because I mean, with trade, whether they import or export, it'll enhance the economic well-being of a nation.
Right. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with going with that one.
Okay. All right, so here comes the hard ones that, oh, no, not yet. Okay, so this one, so for 7, figure illustrates the market for tricycles in a country. If this country allows free trade in tricycles, uh,
I had the consumer will gain, but the producers will lose.
well, okay, the world price is underneath the
Equilibrium.
equilibrium. Doesn't that mean that, well, oh, yeah. Because doesn't that mean it has to they have to lower the prices? So consumers will gain and producers will lose?
That's what I was kind of thinking is like, I mean, the price dropped, which makes a bunch of people buy it
Yeah, that makes sense.
enough for the consumers.
Yeah, and then the producers they'll lose because they have to drop their prices in order to, yeah. Okay, so A, consumers will gain, producers will lose. Okay, 8. When a country allows trade and becomes an exporter of a good, which of the following is not a consequence? I got C. The losses of domestic consumers of the good exceed the gains of domestic producers of the good. Did
Yes,
you get that? Cool. Okay, 9. I did not get this one.
so with
How do
trade,
you figure that out? Like, because in the book it was like, oh, A plus B is this, or like B plus C plus D is this. And I'm just like, dude, that makes no sense.
yeah, this one was kind of confusing. I mean, it's the triangles. You're basically finding the area of the triangles. So let's see. So on the demand curve, the very top on the price is 26,
Uh-huh.
and then the equilibrium is at 14.
Okay.
So basically, that little triangle between 14, 26, and the equilibrium, I think is the
Total
uh,
surplus
well,
or producer surplus.
I think it's the consumer. It's either the consumer or the producer, one of those. And then the other triangle is the other one, the consumer or the producer.
I think the top would be producer surplus and the bottom would be consumer surplus.
Then you basically just find the area, which is like, base times height divided by, or yeah, divided by 1/2 or 2. Um, but that could be, I mean, I'm not the greatest at math, so that's kind of the hard part for me. Let me look back at this. Okay. Okay, so I think that the total consumer surplus is the top triangle.
Okay. Um,
But I can't remember. I had 1,500, but I lost my paper that had the math on it. So
1,500.
yeah, so I'm not sure how I did that or got that. I think so. 14
Okay. Let's see.
base times height by 2.
1,500. 600. Okay.
with trade.
Because like I'm even looking on the PowerPoint because luckily I had that up, but like it doesn't.
Gains from trade.
Freak
Hmm.
is consumer surplus, producer surplus. Did you say consumer surplus was a triangle on top or on the bottom?
On the top.
Consumer surplus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Producer surplus. Hmm.
Well, click Darno. Okay. With trade.
Producer surplus.
So this says with trade. So it's a bigger triangle than I thought it would be. But how would you?
Because it's kind of including the other smaller triangle, right?
Yes, because it's with the world price. But and then the consumer surplus is that tiny triangle at the bottom. But I don't know how you would figure that out. Like it doesn't.
Well, I mean, if we can you just add up the areas of them,
But how do you figure out the area?
uh, one half, one half the base times the height, I believe. So I think so.
So the base would be
Which triangle are you looking at? Because I think
and
you have to do the two. You have to do two triangles and then add them.
we're just trying to find out the producer surplus.
And you were saying that's just the that small tiny one.
Yeah, so
So the height would be so it
would
goes
be
from 2 to 8. It should be 6,
6 and
and
then
then
the base would be
like
300.
yeah. So it'd just be 6 times 300, so 1800 divided by 2, so 900.
So it'd be 900 then is the producer surplus.
Yeah.
Okay. I love how they don't even tell you that's how you find it out. All it says is like A plus B plus C and all that stuff. Like it.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing.
Yeah. I'm just going to go with 900. Are you okay with 900?
Mm.
Okay, cool. Let's figure out the next one. For calculators in a country without trade, consumer surplus.
This is the not. So is it just that? So this is the consumer one. So is it the top?
It's the top one. So it's the 20 from the 28.
Okay.
Because that's where the world price is. Well, no, that's not true. So it'd be the 15 to the 28 because this one's without trade.
So it's not including the world price thing.
No.
Okay. So that's like 130 and the height is 15 to 28. 13.
Yeah.
So 13. That's the base. And the base was 130. Half of that is
845 is what I got.
okay, yeah. That's what I had.
Okay, cool. We'll go with that. Okay. All right. Coffee. So we're on question 11. So this is with trade, but we need to find the total surplus. So that's producer and consumer surplus. So that's like, oh my gosh. So it's basically that whole left triangle. So A, B, C, D, and F.
So I had 1870.
1870 is what you got?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, let's just go with that. Okay, so question 12. When the country moves from free trade to trade and a tariff, consumer surplus. So, let's see.
So I had B. So the consumer surplus decreases,
And producer surplus.
increases by 192.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least we know. Well, it has to either be B or D. So if you got B, we'll just go with that one.
Okay.
All right, 13. The nation of Aquilonia has decided to end its policy of not trading with the rest of the world. When it ends its trade restrictions, it discovers that it is importing rice, exporting steel, and neither importing nor exporting TVs. We can conclude that producer surplus in Aquilonia is now
Up there.
producer. I got higher in the steel market, lower in the rice market, and unchanged in the TV market. So
That's
A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
14.
So the deadweight loss, isn't that just D and F?
Is it? I couldn't figure out what the dead weight was again.
That's the
Oh,
the kind of like the loss, from having
lower your price.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is DNF. So D plus F.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Shows the domestic demand and domestic supply in a market. In addition, assume that the world price in this market is $40 per unit. So it's lower than the equilibrium. Tariff is $20 per unit.
What is the tariff relatively free trade? Imposition of tariff. So if they impose a tariff of $20 per unit, and it's already. So I think it was C. It decreases imports of the good by 600 and increases domestic production of the good by 300.
Okay. That makes sense.
All right, 16. The amount of revenue collected by the government from the tariff. I can't remember how I did this one. I had 200. But
yeah, how would you figure that out?
Can't remember. Let's see.
Would it be that rectangle area?
Like from the equilibrium to.
Or the world price and tariff than the world price. Because you have the two little triangles of the dead weight.
Yeah.
And then that rectangle in between. Would that be it? But then how did you figure it out? So you got 200 for that one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go with that one.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Okay, the general agreement on tariffs and trade was initiated in response to, I had D, high tariffs imposed during the Great Depression of the 1930s.
Same.
And then the infant industry argument, I kind of understood it as A.
Yeah, that's what I got. Okay.
19.
I didn't understand 19, like the question.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly sure what advanced
Meant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was thinking that it was D, just because it's kind of like I don't know, advanced can be kind of like a forward or like aggressive kind of stance.
Yeah. But then again, if you think about it from like an economist point of view, an advance, like, do you think trade restrictions are necessary for like an economic growth, or trade restrictions increase economic efficiency? Because I mean, the national security, it had that argument like, oh, well, it's there for national security type stuff, or whatever. But
I mean, I don't know what kind of national threats are coming from trade.
yeah, because I mean, they gave that example of like, well, what if, we get our steel from another country, then we can't, produce like tanks or guns or whatever, because if we get into like a war or whatever with them, then we're kind of SOL on weapons. But
I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of opinionated.
yeah, a little bit.
I mean, from an economic, I would feel like it'd be the economic growth.
I'm just gonna put C. You could put D if you want and see which one was right and what they meant. So I'm very curious of what they meant by that.
Okay, I'm all right with that.
Okay. Economists view the fact that Florida grows oranges, Texas pumps oil, and California makes wine as confirmation of the virtues of free trade. So A.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Sweet. Okay. Save all. Go to submit.
Submit.
What did I get? We got a B.
Nice. I think I got an A minus, so it must have.
It must have been that one then. That's so weird.
Lame.
Oh well, I'm okay with that. So at least we've been getting better and better on the quizzes.
All right, crazy. I'm all right with that.
I'm cool with that too. Okay.
Sweet. Alrighty, well, I'll post this video thing.
Okay.
So.
Sounds good.
All right.
I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. See ya.
Bye.